So it's like, oh God, now I have to extend myself to everyone.
Correct.
But we haven't, talked about the extended family, the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, the cousins, all of those things.
Right.
When we got together, it was very evident that you still had a relationship with your ex-wife family.
When there are children involved, it's automatically going to involve external family members.
I remember at one point I was like, okay, what does this look like for me? Now I have to be concerned about how her mom, her sisters, how are they going to see me?
You've got to just be yourself and be confident in the fact that there's a reason why I'm here and they're not.
A little bit of insecurity comes in when you're meeting your new love ex's family. When you divorce, you do not divorce the family. You may divorce that individual, but we're still together because the child is the tie that binds. Hello, my Dope Blend family.
What's up, everybody?
Here we are for another episode. We're so excited. We're kind of going to move in a different direction in this episode. I think, we've talked about blending amongst the immediate family,
Right.
The new couple, the exes, the children, what that looks like. But we haven't, talked about, the extended family, the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, the cousins, all of those things.
Right.
So I think we need to talk about what that looks like, from a standpoint of coming together as one, not just, as a new couple, but blending that old relationship, that old extended family. So
Yeah, let's do it.
the ties that bind,
The
right?
ties that bind. Let's get into it.
Let's do this. All right. Okay, so I remember, of when we got together, it was very evident that you still had a relationship with your, how would you say it?
My ex-wife's family.
Okay, ex-wife family. Okay,
sure.
ex-mother-in-law. Okay, or father-in-law. Like he really did. Conversations. They would talk on the phone, all of those things, and I think it was very fresh into the divorce and things like that. So the girls are very young. So
Correct.
there was still a lot of love and
Right.
understanding and communication there. And I remember at one point I was like, okay, what does this look like for me? Amongst all of these things, now I have to embrace, the extended portion. I didn't realize I had to do that, and then, how would they look at me? I knew from a standpoint at that moment, how your ex looked at me, but now I have to be concerned about, how her mom, her bonus dad,
Right.
Her sisters.
Right.
Sisters can be,
Right.
come on, I have a big sister. I know what that's like.
Yeah,
So,
me too.
right. So, and they're very protective of us. So it's like, oh God, now I have to extend myself to everyone,
Correct.
And I can honestly say with your family, it was very easy for us,
Right.
to bond.
Right.
So, that's something people really don't talk about.
It is. I think that it's all in, y'all know I'm a TV buff, so I'm going to always go back to the Cosby Show.
God.
So, I think it's all in the delivery of how Dabney Bricky is brought into the house, right? Is he brought there in a way that is presentable, or is he brought there on a garbage can lid, right?
Yeah.
So I know that as it pertains to you and I, when it comes to my family, I had already been talking you up. They already knew before y'all even met that I was into you.
Right.
I made that clear. Now I was doing my thing.
Okay, we don't have to go there, but we're talking about.
But even though I was doing my thing, I made it clear that there was one person in particular that I was really after, that my sights were set after, and so it was clear. So after the 8-month, purgatory, not purgatory, the trial basis that you put me through, that you kept shutting me down, and yet I was still building you up.
That goes back to
Yeah,
another episode.
there was
but-
even one time. Let me throw this story in there. There was one time in the 8 months that I was on a family trip to Florida. We talked about that in another episode, but this was a family trip that I was on, and I was in Florida, and I had texted somebody. I won't say no names. I'll just give the initials, Leslie Cooper Kirkland, and I had texted her about us going out, and she had finally agreed. You know, this is a great story for this episode because I'm going to tell you how the Lord works in mysterious ways.
Get to the
She
story.
had finally agreed to go out with me on a date. On the 4th of July, she was going to go out with me on a date. And you remember in Norbit, the movie Norbit, and he was going around saying, Tuesday.
Some people have not seen Norbit.
Okay, well, there's a movie called Norbit with Eddie Murphy, and Norbit was walking around Tuesday.
Babe, get to the story.
So I was so excited that somebody had agreed to go out with me on a date. And don't you know, when it came time for us to go out on the date, she said, I forgot my family was coming in town. See, family. See?
My parents did. They came in town
today for a reason.
I really listen.
When your parents live in New Orleans and you live in Atlanta, you don't forget that they coming into town. You knew it was scheduled. It was planned.
Listen,
you knew that they were coming in town, but yet and still you told me that you was gonna go out with me.
Are you
gonna
let me speak?
No.
No,
because when you told me that you were gonna go out with me on a date, my
his feelings got hurt.
When you broke it off,
He
my
said,
feelings
right.
got hurt. That's right. And
No.
I cussed you out
Okay. He did.
in the back of my mind.
But no, listen,
front,
you know
too.
my parents. And my parents will change the dates that they're supposed to come. You know that. Now that we are married and my parents come, they come for the summer and spend time with us for like a month or so, and then they come throughout the year, but they come also at the end of Christmas time and stay for a couple of weeks. He knows that they change the dates all the time of what day that they're going to either drive in, fly in, whatever they're doing. He knows that.
Well, anyway,
so at that time, he didn't know that, but that's what happened.
Well, anyway, so
He
what
thought I was
happened
lying. I wasn't.
So to bring the story back full circle, so what happened was, this was the hiccup in my building her up. When she stood me up, I told my sister.
Oh God, yes, Lord. And my sister-in-law, who I
sister
love,
was
my
like-
SNL.
She broke it off. Okay, all right. So she playing games.
Yes, and
All right,
she came
so-
into it like you playing games with my
right.
brother.
That's right. That's right. So, but I had built her up. All my family knew that I liked the girl that was from New Orleans that wore the Drew Brees jersey. And fast forward, I had to do a show. We was shooting a Tyler Perry show, and I had comp tickets, and the tickets were for my mom, my dad, my brother,
me up.
and I invited the stand-up girl.
He set
And
me
this
up.
time she decided that she would come. And when she came, she had no choice but to meet my mom.
No.
Before we even started dating,
No. Let's
she had
let's
already met
rewind.
my mom and my dad and my
Let's
brother.
Let's rewind. You sent me a text. You said, "Hey, because I asked you. I said, how am I going to get the tickets? I thought they were at Will Call or something like that. You know, he told me, oh, my mom gonna have your ticket. What you mean your mom gonna have my ticket? Yeah, cause you gonna be sitting next to my mom, my dad, my brother. Say what?
Yes.
Right. It was
The
a
Father,
setup.
the Son, and my mom is the Holy Spirit.
It was a setup. He didn't prepare me for. So all that day, I called my sister. I called my brother Ike. I called my friends. Like, I'm not going because
You didn't have a choice.
No, I did.
No, you did not.
They talked me
It was a part
into
of your
going.
destiny.
No, you better thank God for them. They talked me into going with Leslie. Even my coworkers was like, Leslie, no, just go. I was like, how dare he put me in this position? We just got to the point that I'm willing to do something with him, and now he's gonna make me meet his parent. Like, seriously, guys, I am not one to like, and y'all, those who know me know that I am warm. I love people, but I was just like, moms, look, you gotta. There's a process with moms.
Not in this case.
Y'all,
The Lord had already ordered your
please
steps.
be quiet. Why, y'all? I get to Cobb, Cobb energy.
That's right.
My mother-in-law, y'all gotta know my mother-in-law, Lord Jesus.
I had already. That's
Hello.
because I had already sent her
Look,
pictures.
she knew exactly who I
who to
was.
look for.
I walked up. She said, "Hello," and me, "Hello," and we
And
just
that was
hugged. We hugged.
The rest is history.
The whole show.
Now they both get on my nerves.
The whole show. We didn't hardly even watch the actual play because me and her was sitting there talking to the point that my father-in-law was like,
exactly.
"Okay,
okay." Y'all both get on his nerves too.
And then of course my brother-in-law, well, my little brother-in-law, who I consider, we kicked it off, which I have an affinity to him too because of how we met. I feel like, he really is my little brother, but it was great. And then after that, it was, he did the okie dokie on me more than once. The next thing was, we, hung out, and he said, "Oh yeah, by the way, yeah, we going with my family, for the barbecue." Say what? What you mean? Yeah, everybody gonna be. No, let's keep it real. I prepared him to meet my parents. He just threw me into it.
That's
threw
right.
me into
because
and
you
that,
were nervous for me to meet your father.
And that
I wasn't nervous for you.
No,
to meet
no, no,
my
no, no.
mom.
And when we did that barbecue, y'all, we talking about cousins, girlfriends, the brothers, and all.
That's
I'm
right.
like, what is happening here? Grandmother, all like, all right, sit down, baby, eat. And I'm like,
Here's my question: Are you still here?
I'm here, and
Well,
I
that's all
love
that matters.
I
We
love
knew
the
that.
Kirkland family. But what does it look like when you're meeting the X family? Whew. Now we talk about. I had to digest. I remember calling my sister. I was like, girl, we about to go to this soccer game, and I think her mom and dad gonna be there. My sister, just like his sister's very overprotective, my sister don't play. Okay, when it comes to me, and he knows that because she checked him when she first met him. Like, look, don't play about her. So she ready. She talking about, well, you just call me just in case I gotta come out there. I was like, well, I'm hoping it don't have to go there.
That's right.
But let me. She already let me know. I will drive. I don't care where I'm at. I'm gonna drive out there to you. I was like, okay. She was like, but honestly, just be you, Leslie. Don't worry about them. I was like, okay, but I was nervous. And I was just nervous. I didn't know what to expect. I just,
I mean, it's understandable. I mean, your nervousness makes sense. I mean, I had to meet a new family when it came to you. I had to meet your sister and your father and your mother and your cousin at the bowling alley.
Yeah,
I had to meet all of them. But I didn't have to meet the family of an ex due to a blended situation, and you did. So I can understand that. A lot of times what people don't understand, and you kind of touched on it just a little while ago, that when there are children involved, it's automatically going to involve external family members.
yes.
And here's the thing, in the words of Cardi B, forever.
Forever.
I mean, it's just never, because those children,
Shout out to Cardi B.
those children whose mom was my ex also had aunts, a grandmother, a grandfather, cousins, right? And when you consider the fact that in my situation, there was a high school sweetheart 5-year infatuation dating period, then moves into a marriage that lasts for another 7 years. So now you have a 12-year relationship that was built from two teenagers to now 2 adults that have now involved 2 children. So you have the dynamic of parents who have watched their child grow up with a sweetheart. So they watched them both grow up and matriculate into, adulthood and go through college and now they've gotten married. And so so her parents watched me grow as well.
Yes, I
I
know.
grew with them. And then her parents
It's
knew
almost
my
intimidating.
parents,
Truth.
and they were all together when we had children, and they were all together at our wedding and at the reception and at the family reunion and at the this and at the that. So, at the college graduation, so it's high school graduation.
Do you see where the intimidation and the fear of And you know what? Let's be real. A little bit of insecurity comes in when you're meeting your ex's, your new love ex's family, because they knew you in such a deep way,
Sure.
because you were a teenager.
Right.
So it's like, how are they going to see me? What are they
Sure.
going to think of me? They probably going to talk about me. What has she said about me? All of these things. Because the truth is, your family is going to always stick by you 10 toes down, period.
Right.
This new person to come in, and this person could be the angel of God. But real talk, your
Yeah.
family is going to be like, yeah, that might be the angel of God, but you the best. You is it, girl.
And that
You,
and that is true. And that is true. And that's why, even from my perspective, I had to handle that delicately. I had to handle that when we talk about stepping up, when we talk about protecting, when we talk about being considerate.
Yeah.
Right. I had to be considerate of the fact that I was now bringing you into a space that
To
would
be
be
ridiculed.
uncomfortable because of history.
right.
Now, there's at the same time there was something that I had in my back pocket, and that is when you build relationships and people truly know the people that are involved. How do I say this? What I knew was that even though what you say is true, family's always going to stick by you. Family's always going to have your back. But your family also knows you. Okay?
Okay.
Your family knows you.
That's true.
So in my situation, my ex-wife's family knew her. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So your personality is totally opposite of hers.
Correct.
Right? And your bubbly, likable, energetic, extra
Okay.
personality
Jesus.
shines through.
Right. And I think another thing that kind of helped the situation is, we were all from the same place, New Orleans.
That's true. Yeah,
You
had
know,
a
so
common
we
ground.
had a common ground, which, New Orleans people are just like, baby, once you find out you're from New Orleans, you family. Hear me? That's just true. That's just how we are. Baby, come in my house, come eat, whatever. I'm your auntie. I'm your uncle. That's just how we are. So I think truth, I went from that angle. And I'm saying this to say that when you're being introduced to the ex's family, you got to come from a different angle sometimes. Sift the room a little bit, figure it out, and not come so hard. And push yourself through.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
You just, be you. And it's okay to be nervous, but be you.
Yeah, you can't be Jennifer Lewis.
No, you can't walk through the door and say,
can't.
I've arrived. It's
I'm
me.
here.
I'm here, baby.
Everybody else got to take a sit back.
No, you can't do that. No, you
No.
can't. And I didn't go. I think with the help of my sister, with the help of my mom, I didn't set expectation. It was just do what you have to do for the girls, and they'll see it. And if they don't see it, then that's their fault, because that means they don't want to see it.
Yeah, true.
And I was like, okay, Mom. She was like, you don't, yeah, no. I don't want you to put on. I don't want you to go, the extra mile to step out of who you are to make someone like you or accept you. The acceptance is going to come. But as long as those children accept you and as long as Greg is standing by you, that's all that matters. But eventually, this is crazy. Do you remember the the soccer game? I come in, I speak, I say hello. Your ex-father-in-law, which they are a blended family as well, by the way. Just let me drink some water, but they are a blended family, by the way. Which is crazy in and of itself, right? I'm sorry, I had to drink some water. My voice
And
was.
you spilled it.
Oh, sorry.
All right, I'll clean it up while you talk.
But anyway, so we started talking. Like I said, we had a common ground. We started talking, and his ex is the one that went on the other side of the field, while me her mom and her bonus dad sat there and talked. She felt left out or just didn't want to be a part of that whole dynamic. Like, I know this ain't happening. I know this thing ain't coming here and talking to my family. But that's literally how it happened.
And that kind of aligns with what I was just saying.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, okay, Bible, just indulge me for a second. Indulge me, okay? I have this, I don't know if you want to say revelation or if it's just Greg, the book of Greg, chapter 2 and 25. The Bible talks about a prophet gets no love in their own home, right? And a lot of times we spin that as to say, you know, you got to go out to get love because a prophet gets no love in his own home. I have a little bit of a different thought process as it pertains to that particular scripture, because for me, sometimes I have the thought of, could it be the case that a prophet gets no love in their own home because home knows you? Home knows who you are. They know the real you.
That was good.
So sometimes, not in all cases, could it be? And those Bible scholars don't come for me. I'm just giving you Greg. Sometimes you, and I'm using that loosely in this case, but sometimes you might get no love in your own home because they know you. And so it kind of goes back to the example that I used, or just the statement that I made, rather, of saying that you can depend on, in many cases, not all, I believe that you can depend on the fact that even when somebody new is coming in, they know their family. They know what has taken place. They know the personality. They know the characteristics. They know the goods, the bads, the ups, the downs,
and so the ugly,
and the ugly.
And
so with that, you know, you got a new person that's coming in with a completely different personality. It's refreshing for everybody.
Baby, let me refresh.
So to her point, if you're the person that is, if you're the bonus parent, the bonus person, right, that's coming into an already established, a pre-established situation, pre-existing situation, you got to just be yourself.
Yeah.
You've got to just be yourself and allow and be confident in the fact that there's a reason why I'm here and they're not, right?
So in the book that we have on our website, Building Love Together in Blended Families, the 5 Love Languages, there's a quote that they say here that old first family wounds can easily be resurrected when a parent's new love creates a new family.
Read that again.
Old first family, which is ex-family, wounds can easily be resurrected when a parent's new love creates a new family, which means, you know, you created, not only did you get married, because remember there was a situation when we got married, they wanted to support us. They wanted to come, but then there was, I think your ex-father-in-law did come, but your mother-in-law, you know, got nervous and didn't. But then
they thought it was just to be open, because I don't think they would mind if I share. But the day of our wedding, we had actually invited.
Yeah, we did invite them.
You know, my ex's parents, and they were coming. They had RSVP. They were coming to the wedding. And on the way, something happened. I think a tire blew out,
tire.
Or it got into, you know, a little fender bend or whatever it was. And my ex mother-in-law thought it was an omen. So
saying that
like,
she should go.
I shouldn't go.
Yeah.
Okay. But my ex-father-in-law was like, well, I'm going. You going to stay in the house. I see you after the wedding.
Came. And he came to the wedding.
Yeah.
He did. And so, you know, with that being said, and another instance was, which I thought, I was glad it happened the way that it did. You know, there was another incident with when they found out that we were expecting with Carter. And remember, they were all together. She was with her mom and her dad in the car.
Okay.
And Kyla called.
Okay.
And said, Miss Hell is having a baby. Remember that?
Got it.
And you know, her bonus dad was actually the one to console her. But I'm saying all of this to say, did you ever feel like you were stuck in the middle and in a hard place, having to juggle,
Sure.
your family, your new extended family, but yet still have that connection, and you wanted to make sure that that connection was jovial and
Sure.
peaceful
Sure.
with your ex's family, even though the truth is you weren't required,
Right.
but in your heart, for the sake of my children, I want this to be amicable. I want this to
Correct.
still be good.
Correct.
So to the viewers and listeners who are dealing with that, because sometimes when it breaks, when the divorce happens, the ex's family is like, "Oh, I have turned on you.
Yeah,
You've hurt
sure.
my
Sure.
daughter, my son, or whatever."
And guess what? It started out that way.
They talk about you
I
like a
mean,
dog.
because it started that way. They were angry with me. You know, they felt how they felt about me, and I can't act like I don't understand why, right? I can't act that way. I can't just be like, well, I'm Greg. Everybody should love me, and why would they ever be mad with me? No, in their minds, because I was the leaver, my ex was the leavee. So in their minds, I was leaving their child. I was breaking their child's heart. I was and we had children. I'm walking away from my family. So they had their feelings and their thoughts about that. My family had their feelings and their thoughts about that. My father expressed to me some feelings and some thoughts that he had about my decision making when it came to that decision. I had to deal with that. I had to deal with that on every end.
Yeah.
But as it pertains to her family, I couldn't deny that I have daughters. These are their grandparents. These are their aunts. Now, all I can do is be me. All I can do is walk into a room, be mature, be cordial, and speak. What I can't do is control what I could have possibly gotten in return. And at times, it was a little awkward. It was a little funky. It was a little, it had a little something on it at times, But after a while, through prayer, through
Time.
Things started to shift, and we were able to once again be able to live, I won't necessarily say harmoniously, but we could make music.
We could make music.
We might have all been singing in unison.
What happens when
but we were making music.
What happens when one tries to beat the drum a little louder than the other?
Yeah.
And in terms of music, we said this 1,000 times over, but it's key and critical when we're talking about this whole blending thing. We are both in music. That's our thing, and meeting at EBC in your city. Yeah. We were singing together on the praise team, so that's how, I was singing on the praise team. He was
the worship leader.
Greg. Greg.
And what had happened was,
you see the stuff he does.
People probably gonna think I am just the.
You see
I'm
the
really
stuff
not
he
that
does.
guy. Well, I'm really not. But
ask him if he uses this soprano in everything that he does. Okay, everything.
I will not.
Okay,
dignify that.
But
with an
anyway,
answer. We married into the franchise.
Anyway,
yeah,
so
everybody in my house work.
We want to send a shout out to EBC for their community sponsorship. I'm talking over him. Their community sponsorship. No, we really appreciate their partnership with us. And please check them out. They are 3 locations.
Yeah.
Their main location, which is in Atlanta off of Cascade Road, has 3 services. Bishop Craig Oliver, we love him. We thank him for all the love and all the support. Shout out to EBC is the place to be.
EBC in your city.
Yes.
IG, Facebook is Elizabeth Baptist.
Yes, yeah. There you go.
We love EBC.
We love EBC. Your ex family has actually come to EBC as well when you did the play. Remember when you did Freed? They came and they supported.
Okay. Thank y'all.
seriously, and even all of that, we have come together there. Like he stated before, there have been moments of tension, and my the truth is, his ex-mother-in-law has even come to me and said, girl, don't worry about that, just be you. But I do believe as time has progressed, there has been moments of them not knowing, straddling the fence, because not knowing how to respond to certain situations that occur between the ex couple. Do I get involved? Do I not? Do I side with him? Do I side with her? I do know my child, but I do know him. Then I got to think about my grandkid. You straddling the fence trying to figure it out. And sometimes that can get real murky. And
Well, not to cut you off, but I'm glad that you say that, because a lot of times with what we do, we're talking from the perspective of the immediate, right?
yeah,
We're talking from the perspective of what it was like on our level to have to integrate and to have to be,
Yep.
Forced, for lack of a better word,
Yep.
into a pre-existing situation, right? But I think that you make a great point with what you just said, that there are actually people that are out there listening and maybe even watching that are in the extended family position,
yeah,
right? What about the people that are watching where you're the
extended family.
you're the ex-mother-in-law? Your grandchildren are involved in a situation now where the children have split, or the ex-father-in-law, or the ex-sister-in-law, or the ex-brother-in-law, and the children the marriage has split, and now everybody has to figure out
how
how
they
do we
function in this new normal.
whose side do we
Yeah.
take? When do we know
When to take sides.
Should we be in it or should we stay out of it? Should we even go to the function?
Should we support? Should we
Is
not?
it going to be, am I wrong for supporting the new? So for those of you that are watching and that are listening and you're in that position, what we can say from our perspective is we appreciate any effort that's made to make peace.
Any effort.
Any effort
yep.
that is given to make peace is appreciated. It's when the effort is given to create turmoil or
Correct.
to create issues or discord, that's when it's not appreciated. If you're in that piece of the puzzle, if that's your position in the bigger picture, right? And what you're doing, would sow discord. If even if it's slick, even if you're just slick with it, right? Like, even if I'm going to tolerate the new one, but when they leave, then I'm going to talk about them.
Right. Which happens.
At that point,
it's like, are you
not
being
making
authentic?
peace.
Yeah. Are you being authentic, or
So in that case, you need to be real.
you need to be real?
If you don't like them,
don't like
don't
them.
act like you don't like. Don't
Right.
act like you like them. Just be real about it so that everybody know where everybody stands.
And the question is, why you don't like them?
Great question.
Do you don't like them?
Do you not like them because
they've done something, or you don't like them because you just trying to stand
your
with
sister
it?
or your brother,
right?
or your daughter, or your son, don't
right?
Like them,
But I do have to also take in consideration, and he's right. If you're dealing with this situation, it's not just a death for the couple. The relationship is not a death for the couple. It's also a death to the extended family. I know for a fact that Greg's ex-family loved him. They loved him. He grew up with them. So it's hurtful on their side too. And they're dealing with their emotions and how I love this person and now this ends for them. I see my child hurting because of this, but I know I have to comfort him or her, but at the same time, I got to comfort myself because I'm losing basically a son or a daughter.
Sure.
I'm losing that. And what does that mean for my grandchildren? How do we make this work in such a difficult situation? So you have to take retrospect in that and ask God to help you through that process. and be open and give the new person some grace, because they're walking into something that could honestly be new to them, and something that is very scary and very intimidating. And when you're shutting them out purely because you don't want to take the opportunity to know them, or you're afraid that if you know them you might like them,
My God.
that's not fair. That's not right, and it's not fair. And like we've stated in a lot of our episodes, the kids see everything. They see when you think they're not looking, they see it. When you think they're not hearing, when you're talking about the new person, they hear you. And I'm saying this, they hear you. And especially when they've developed a relationship with the new person and they feel like their family has not taken the time to know them, they feel some type of way. The kids start feeling some type of way. So let's talk about that a little bit, because we've had the opportunity. With my husband's ex-family, we've actually traveled together.
Sure.
We've gone on a cruise.
Mighty God.
Kyla's 16th birthday. It was his ex family and new husband. It was Greg's family, my in-laws, and my family came as well. My mom, my dad, my sister. It was one big blended thing on Royal Caribbean. And thank God nobody was pushed overboard.
Noah built that ark.
But it worked.
And we were on there 2 by 2.
Yeah, it worked. And, we even went on an excursion. We went on an excursion together. And most people would be like, oh, girl, please, I ain't doing that. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Or no, sir. Not happening. Don't say that. Don't say that.
Yeah, don't say that, because here's the thing, and Leslie can attest to this. I think that this has been my song for, how long we been together?
12.
12 years. Why you say it like that? 12.
12.
Say it, that's right.
12
with
years.
some joy.
Yes.
12 years.
Go.
Not 12 years a slave either.
Just 12. Now go.
So what I'm saying is, so where was I going with this stuff?
Where were you going?
So what I was going to say was, in the years that we have been together, one of the things that I have repeatedly said, and this is for the bio parents out there, I'll do what I have to do for my child.
Yes.
If I have to be on a boat with my ex-wife. No, we ain't talking about, let's not talk about family. I'm on a ship. I'm paying money to go on a ship.
We going on a trip together.
With my ex-wife.
We taking a vacation together.
And her husband.
That's just what it was.
And my wife. Now, I want to say new wife, because by that point we weren't new.
Yeah.
My wife, our children, all of them, all 4, my parents, and my wife's parents, and my ex-wife's parents, and family, and everybody, right? How do you do that? I do that because I'll do what I have to do for my child.
And it made her happy.
And it made her happy because it's something that she wanted. She wanted the cruise.
Yes, she did.
She wanted everybody that was able to go.
Yep.
And so how would I look as the father to be so immature that I can't bring myself to be in a space?
Child shall lead the way.
With other people simply because of background. And my child wants it.
Mm-hmm.
I got to find something within me to say, for 7 days, I'm not going to be in a room with them.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a room with you.
Oh, God.
And when all else fails, I could retreat to that room.
To your safe place.
But glory be to God, the trip turned out okay.
It did. And you know what's funny? I said it just a few seconds ago, the child shall lead the way. What was crazy is the girls were so comfortable in the situation. They all call all the grandparents their own name that they have. You have their grandmas, their Gigi. They call my mom Gammy.
Mm-hmm.
They and on the trip they said it. Hey, Gammy. Hey, Gigi. Hey, Grandmas. That was that thing. Hey, Papa Coop. Hey, Papa. You know, it was like, I'm not going to switch it up because I'm in front of everybody. This is my family. And I remember telling them, it is dope. You got 3 grandmothers. You got 3 papas. That means you getting all these gifts, you know, and you getting all this love, you know, and you got to teach your children how to look at it from a different angle. You have so much, you got all these aunts.
Yeah.
That's loving on you.
Yeah.
You know, you got my sister, you know, you got your aunt, you got, you know, Greg's sister, you know, and now your uncle, all of this. It's just so much additional love, that extra bonus, the bonus of it all, you know, in a blended situation. So, you know, and now we're at a place where the girls are, you know, older, and we don't spend as much time as we were spending at one point, because we had, you know, the dance recitals and soccer games and birthday parties, but now they're doing their own thing. So I think it's going to be, and it has started to shift a little bit, because now we see less of them. You know, and I think sometimes distance can cause also, what's the word? A little bit of separation, because you don't talk as much. You're not doing the pickup, the drop off. Or if you don't pick it up, I'll call Gigi to come get them. I'll do this. You're not doing that anymore. As often. So the frequent conversations that you've had, just maybe even catch up, aren't there anymore. And, you know, I think the ex family feels that sometimes, and they're like, well, you know, it really has shifted. Okay, they've been together now for 12 years. He has a whole nother family, a whole nother, you know, their kids are getting older, and they love our boys. Let me say that they do. They love our boys. But, you know, the girls are now grown. They don't have to go through that process. So even how to deal with that.
You know, I think that everything is a season, right? And I think that after a while, it almost becomes, and it doesn't have to even be from a negative space. I think after a while, it only makes sense for everybody to go about their lives.
Yeah, which can be hard.
When the times are necessary for everybody to come together, great. We will and we can.
Yep.
You know, but at the same time, after a while, it's like, well, everybody's moved on, so everybody has to move on at a certain point, and allow those new relationships and new stories and new, you know, to take their course. Because there's nothing worse than just holding on to something that should have went on a long time ago.
Yeah. So in the book, it says Bridging the Generations. It says that because grandparenting in blended families is a 3-generation endeavor, each generation has its parts in strengthening the family. The key words, which we've used previously for everyone, include the patience, the pace, and the pursue. As much as it depends on you and us, find ways to live in peace and improve the relationships, and allow space for each set of grandparents, the bios and the bonus. Everybody has to know their lane. And that comes just like I had to pursue, just like I had to have patience, just like I had to learn, you know, the girls. My parents had to do the same thing. And by the way, they love my dad because how they tease my parents? Terry. Arthur. They have their own dynamic.
That's all they hear.
That's all they hear. They look forward to my parents coming here. And sometimes it's all of us in the house together.
Oh.
It's literally all the kids and my parents in the house, and they get along well. They think my dad is the funniest thing. They crack up laughing at them. And it's cool. It's cool to see it. It's cool to be a part of it. It's wonderful to see the growth and how far we've come, you know. And to hear my mom say, I have 4 grandkids. And she literally says that. I have 2 girls and I have 2 boys. That is how she has conversation. Is, you know, it's not, oh, you know, I have my grandboys, and, you know, Leslie married someone with kids, because you have people who do that. Oh, you know, and they have, no, how many grandkids? I have 4. And that's something you guys have to also remember. you can't divide amongst, not even us. As I say, I have 4 kids, but as the extended, you also have to include everyone involved. You know, it's four of us. It's
Sure.
four babies. It's four, kids, and we have to remember that across the board. So, I think, we've done good. I think we are doing.
Sure.
But we're going to do a game really quick. It's an activity, and we've been doing it in every episode. And it's called the Skittles game. What is it? The colors of the rainbow, right? And so with that, I want to, for those who are viewing, I have a bowl of Skittles. Each color represents something that's key and critical in the blended dynamic. And we're going to pick a color. I'm going to talk about, where we are with that specific question that revolves around that color. So green is use words to describe the family. Orange, what needs to be improved in the family dynamic setup. Red is what worries you. Yellow describes your favorite memories. And purple describes the fun activities that the family does. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to do it eyes wide open.
So am I.
Okay. I want to do yellow
Okay.
and describe the favorite memories, because the truth is, I truly believe that the cruise was really a pivotal point for us, and I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed seeing us all together, and we had excursions. We did all those things. Now, we didn't always sit at the same table and things like that, but it was a cohesiveness that we had. Sorry, I almost dropped my Skittle, but we had a cohesiveness, and that felt good.
Yeah.
I was able to see that we've come a long way,
Right.
and in our own special way, it was a way of showing acceptance,
Sure.
and I love that.
I agree.
So that's mine.
I'm going to choose
I'm gonna eat it.
orange. Orange is things that need improvement,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And part of the reason why I chose orange this time is not even necessarily something that, well, I'll say this. There's an area that I wish could be improved in the blended dynamic of our external families that I want to admonish you all that are listening and watching in your situation. Leslie just made mention of the cruise that we took. And one of the things that she said was, at times we may not have all sat at the same table and things of that sort. We have had several celebrations in our blended journey. The girls, since Leslie and I have been together, both girls graduated high school. Both girls had sweet 16s. Both girls had major accomplishments that would cause for all the families to come together to celebrate. And one of the things that I have always noticed that, I guess you could say I could make the changes myself, but maybe, and I guess I will. I'll suggest that these changes are done. One of the things I notice is that when we do all get together, even though we all get along, it's typically my ex-wife's family at one end of the table or at one table, my family at another end of the table or at one table. And very rarely can I recall, there was one meal that we had when we were on the cruise, so we all sat at one
together.
table and ate together. But for the most part, in most cases, there's still some level of separation there. My admonishment to everybody that's watching and listening, and even in our situation, something that I would like to see improve, is that when you have those times of coming together, because again, it's for the children. They're not coming together to celebrate our wedding anniversary, right? We're coming together to celebrate graduations and major accomplishments for our children. So why not go the extra mile and something as simple as create a seating chart that blends both families together versus having a degree of separation.
Yep.
Put my mom, my dad, her mom, her dad, and in some cases, your mom, your dad. Put them all on the table together. Put my sister, your sisters, my brother, you know what I'm saying? Put them at a table together so that we all have common meeting ground for us to all have something to discuss when we all come together. It just shows a greater level of harmony whenever we have those times together.
I agree with that. And I suggest you guys, for those that are viewing, that you guys try the Skittles challenge. It is something I think is a great icebreaker and allows the family to talk through things. And the colors represent, honestly, I say it represents a way of harmonizing and bringing the family together. And I think it's something that also allows a better way of communication amongst everyone. So I just want to say this, in talking about extended family and exes and things like that, when you divorce, you do not divorce the family. You may divorce that individual, but we're still together because the child is the tie that binds.
Yeah.
So you have to remember that. And it may not always be the best situation, but through hard work, through gratitude, through love, through support of each other, it'll get to that point. And I want to shout out, my husband's ex-wife's family. Thank you for accepting me the best way you guys know how. And I appreciate, going through this journey with you all. It may have not always been easy, but overall, you have allowed those girls to love me. And I appreciate that. And I can't say thank you enough for that. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this conversation. I hope you guys can take this to your homes, to friends, to families, and you can really apply this to, your life and to your families and really work through that portion that people really don't talk about.
Absolutely.
So what do we always say? We love you.
Yeah.
We thank you for all your support. Please follow us on all social media platforms.
Sure. Join the bonus club.
Join the bonus club. Fill out. If you have any DMs, any questions, definitely reach out to us. But other than that, keep on what?
Blending.
Blending. Peace out. We love you.
Take care.